everybody. This is crazy, but we're talking about orchid delirium, orchid obsession. My preoccupation with Crazyarachno, Brassavola Crazyarachno. Well, I purchased that orchid many years ago, and it was my first time buying, and it was my first time purchasing from this particular vendor on eBay. And this particular vendor was not present on eBay all the time. He was in and out very rarely, but when he showed up, he had mounted plants that were big, that were affordable in my eyes, as I'm going for specimens. So I looked out for that guy, and so I bought a huge Crazyarachno from him.
My Gigantea, Papageno Gigantea. This is the newest leaf, and it's putting out another leaf. And there are some tips up here that are green. I actually had accidentally sprayed this with Physan. I mistaken the bottle for Physan, thought it was water, sprayed the leaves, and was kind of worried about it. But it has did get this little brown spot that I noticed, but that's about it. So I'm pretty happy. Down here I did move my Millennium Magic Monniera. I thought it was getting pot, although they can't emerge from the side. And speaking of Stanhopias, I have several that are right here. All of them have new growth. I'm still really a version of Cattleya Bovingina. It is in sheath. Here,
This
is my Eranthes and Great Cord. This has been in spike. This is in spike my last video. Actually, it was in bloom. And the blooms that were blooming last month have fallen off, and there's 2 new buds right there. And this little Kiki is in bloom. How rewarding. Let me see, what else? This is my Brassavola hybrid that's got a lot of 2 new growths that are pretty strong. That is David Sander. And right next to it is the Noidi Cattleya that's got several new growths. And lots of roots, although the roots don't look so hot.
Here we go, folks. This is where it begins.
This is my Lallia Anceps. I don't know whether I've...
Or am I just crazy?
But it has got a spike that is... Well, it was in spike last month. It is getting up there. And then there's another one that's still developing over there, out of that leaf. This is my recent acquisition. This is my Brassavola hybrid. It is Crazyarachno. This is a cross between Cucullata and Perenniae, and you can see how big it is. It just finished blooming. Actually, it was in bloom when I got it, but I noticed today that it was pushing out 2 new sheaths with buds. That one right there, and actually this one down here. So that's pretty exciting. There again, I'm pretty sure there's a few more that is. This is a sheath that hasn't bloomed yet. So there it is. I'm sure it was worth every penny that I purchased this from. Right next to it, this is my Aniela Alisecchia.
Oh my God! Look at that.
Record that I have.
And behind it, and not even going to go into reasons why hybrids are made. There are lots of reasons. Flower count, color, ease of culture, color. There's
lots of reasons, but I'm not even going to go into those. I'm just going to tell you what I think for me and my sort of what draws me in. I have a list of my must-have orchid hybrids, and they are not in any particular order, but what I am starting off is probably one that is one of the most well-known, and that would be BC Richard Mueller, which is a primary hybrid. And my Richard Mueller is not in bloom, and it looks really sad, but this is the plant. I will show you pictures. Richard Mueller is very widely used in hybridization. I have already done a video, which I'll link if you haven't seen it, of some of the Richard Mueller hybrids that I have. There are so many of them. One of the endearing characteristics of Richard Mueller and the hybrids of Richard Mueller are that as the flower ages, it does change in color from light to dark, dark to light, whichever. But that's Richard Mueller. Richard Mueller is a cross between Brassavola nodosa and Cattleya milleri. Milleri is a very rich dark red. No, it's yellow. And somehow the spots get in there. Yeah, that's that one. Next one on my list is Cimbadella. I have a Cimbadella cross. Hope to always have it in my collection because this particular one is not widely available, at least not in the States. Now, this is Cimbadella. It's an unnamed Cimbadella, but it is a cross between Falcagera and Orchid, I believe. But the thing about Cimbadella, used to be in the Cymbidium Alliance, but now it is its own section because the culture of Cymbadellas is not really the same as Cymbidiums. Now, the culture is simple, on the other hand. Does not need a cooling off or a dry period like some Cymbidiums do, and they should not be exposed to temperatures below 59 degrees. They do best in a fairly moderate light situation with some shade. Their leaves are very prone to scorching. They need to be fed and watered pretty much copiously during the summertime. They do require to be watered all year round, but a little bit less in winter. They do not require any sort of a dry rest. They are epiphytic, so they prefer to be potted in a porous medium that is well drained, allows their roots to dry. But they do need a lot of room to roam because they are a big plant. Now, the hybrid that I just showed you is a cross between Cardolina, which is otherwise known as Rhodochelia, and that is crossed with Falcagera. Now, Cardolina or Rhodochelia is native to Madagascar, where they're both native to Madagascar. It's a highly specialized epiphytic orchid that lives exclusively on the staghorn fern, Platycerium. They are from the eastern forests of Madagascar. Cardolina is moderate, sort of more intermediate roar, whereas Falcagera, grows from sea level on up. So combining the two makes it more easy to grow, if that makes sense. But other than that, they produce very vivid flowers. I believe Falcagera is known as the black-lipped orchid of Madagascar, black orchid of Madagascar, because of the black markings on the lip. They flower in the summer, middle to late summer, early fall in our climate in the northern hemisphere. That is my other hybrid. Now another hybrid that I fancy a lot is my Brassavola Crazyarachno. Now, it is a primary hybrid between perenni and cucullata, which are two very desirable species. Cucullata being the fringe-lipped Brassavola. This is my Crazyarachno right here. I did have a giant one that was on a big wood cork slab. When the time came for me to remount it, I did end up saving this piece of it, and I gave some of it away. I love the flowers. They do show both of the parents, and again, it is a hybrid of two very desirable species. Perenni is my favorite, very close with cucullata. Cucullata is the bizarre one of the bunch with the frilly lip. Now, another one of my favorite hybrids would be one that I just got, and that is my Den Adora Nishi right here, which is a cross between perenni right here. Look at those flowers. Love, love, love. Look at this. This is shorn. What is this? This is that. I know what that is. Can't think of it now, but we know what that is. Lubekensis. That's one of the species, but this perenni is amazing. And then here's Kalani stars times perenni. And look at this Cernua. Covered in flowers. Hopefully we're getting that color. Another Brassavola. Actually, that looks like a Crazyarachno. And then maybe a year or so later, when it was time for me to mount it again, I had saved a piece for myself and given out other pieces to friends and other orchid people just because it had done so well for me. Bloomed almost immediately after I received it from this vendor. And I have all of this documented, as you will see. But of course, as you've heard this story before, especially from me, how many times have you divided a plant up and saved some for you, given most of it away, and then the piece you have dies? That's what happened. And then thus began a very long search for another Crazyarachno, which there was none. Not for sale. Now, the closest one to for sale was, I was at Sunset Valley Orchids with my good friend Sam. Sunshine. Miss you. Anyway, and amongst the plants was Peter T. Lynn of Diamond Orchids, is one of his personal collections that he housed there. And among that collection were several Brassavola hybrids and species, and there was a ginormous Crazyarachno. I noticed it instantly. Years later, I couldn't find Crazyarachno. Contacted Peter Lynn. So I did research to try to find out who I bought that plant from. And lo and behold, it was Pete 009. So then we began a search for Crazyarachno. And then we found out, or he told me, that I was his very first client, or his first sale on eBay.
Is that funny? And how we are good friends now. I love it. So we both were on a crazy arachno search. And until this year, we were not successful. So 2025 has been a good year. I think that's a good story. It comes full circle. What we're going to do here, and then we're going to go get something to eat so you can get on to Raphael's. You don't have to divide that now.
Yes,
I
you
can
do.
get it later.
What the
since
hell?
Since I bought the big one.
You can take the folly eye.
Yeah, okay.
Wait a minute.
I paid me for that one, yeah.
No. What? Wait. See, we could be having this discussion.
So
right
which one?
now.
The folii, which is over there.
Because, wait.
And I got a fritillaria, I think,
Okay,
right?
you're right.
No, it was a bulba flecturianum. Yeah.
But I hadn't
That's
picked
actually
that
what
up.
I really came to get because I know that sucker's huge. Yeah, yeah. Well,
I
that's
need to
okay.
send you something, buddy.
As long as it's growing.
So that I can
If that doesn't work,
continue our
this
collab.
one's starting.
Because it's falling out.
This is fine. I don't need a big
we
one.
still
I mean,
have
this
like
has
these
two growths
pieces.
coming on it.
Oh, it has two?
Well, yeah. That one.
Yeah,
Now
I
you don't
like
want to
it.
give it to me. See that little one right there?
Oh, cool.
Next
I did
April.
not see that one.
Just in time. Around the 20th.
See, he thought he was giving me the small one.
I know.
Well, then take it back.
No.
I
Yeah.
wanted one of those right
See, I
there
am
anyway.
just such a
What?
nice
The one on the
guy.
left.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
You're supposed to
But
take the best
I'm
one.
fine with
because
this.
This is
Okay.
I am fine with this, really,
a
because
it's gonna
nursery.
work.
This
It is. It is gonna
everything
work.
is for
It's
sale.
probably easier to get home.
it is. It is
Easier
easier.
to get home. That has
Because
nothing to
I
do
was
with it.
planning on those leaves
Yeah,
hanging
tell
down.
it, Terry.
But this is better.
I was
Okay,
planning
so
on
there's nothing else that I
Carlo.
need to be taking home, right? Besides the ones that I got.
Just give it to me.
I don't think I got anything else.
That's all you want.